In the heart of Constantinople, a spectacle unfolds as young Osman II is proclaimed Sultan. Janissaries and court officials watch with curiosity and skepticism. The air vibrates with anticipation of progress and conflict. In the dimly lit private chambers, Osman sits surrounded by ancient texts, his face etched with ambition. I will not stand idly by while corruption and inefficiency rot our great empire from within, he vows, his voice a low growl in the quiet room. His eyes narrow with resolve as he laments. The Janissaries, once the backbone of our military might, have become a den of vipers, preying on the very people they are sworn to protect. Osman, full of youthful resolve, stands before the divan, his voice echoing with ambitious plans. He gestures, detailing his vision of military and economic reforms. The Grand Vizier and high-ranking officials watch Osman, thinly veiled disapproval etched on their faces. The air crackles with tension, a clash between Osman's modernizing zeal and their traditionalist conservatism. Osman watches the Janissaries train, their arrogance stoking his growing anger. He secretly begins plotting a new army, forged from the heart of Anatolia. In the softly lit harem, Osman's face is etched with worry as he sits with Ayşe Hatun. Osman confesses, I fear I am not strong enough, Ayşe. The weight of the empire presses down on me. Ayşe Hatun reassures him. You are stronger than you know, my Sultan. Your heart is true, and your will is unbreakable. Osman admits, but my enemies, they are cunning and ruthless. I worry I underestimate them. Ayşe Hatun warns, that is a danger you must heed, Osman. Never underestimate those who seek to undermine you, but never let fear consume you. Let courage guide your hand and wisdom light your path. Osman surveys the Ottoman army, a vast force poised against the Polish lines. The Hotin campaign becomes a brutal dance of attrition, resolve hardening into grim determination. In the aftermath, Osman notes the army's failings, crumbling logistics and wavering Janissary discipline. These observations fuel his ambition to enact sweeping reforms. Inside Osman's tent, candlelight flickers, casting shadows across carpets and battle maps. A nervous messenger delivers news from the Hotin campaign. Osman's face shifts from weariness to shock as he reads the message. The news of Şehzade Ömer's death hits Osman like a physical blow. He clutches the parchment, knuckles white. A wave of grief washes over him, momentarily crippling him. A steely resolve hardens his features. He will channel his grief into strengthening the empire. Osman reveals his bold strategy to forge a new army from Anatolian soldiers, his voice echoing with determination. A storm of disapproval erupts as the Janissaries and ulama bristle at the prospect, their expressions a mixture of defiance and outrage. The room vibrates with palpable tension, every shadow seeming to deepen as Osman stands, unyielding in the face of dissent. Grand Vizier Davud Pasha sits at the head of the table, the flickering candlelight casting long shadows across his severe features. Janissary leaders lean in, their faces grim, as Davud Pasha speaks of Osman's unchecked ambition. Osman's ambition knows no bounds. He undermines our authority at every turn. His reforms threaten our very existence, Janissary leader one says. The people whisper of discontent. They fear his changes, Janissary leader 2 adds, amplifying the growing dissent. Davud Pasha leans forward, his voice a low threat. Then let us amplify those whispers. Let us ensure they become a roar that Osman cannot ignore. Constantinople erupts in chaos as Janissaries flood the streets, their riotous march shaking the foundations of the city. The mob surges towards Topkapi Palace, a tidal wave of rebellion threatening to engulf Osman's reforms. Inside Topkapi Palace, Osman and his loyalists stand ready, a fortress against the approaching storm. Anticipation hangs heavy as they prepare to protect the palace from the Janissary rebels, each breath a silent vow. The palace waits, silent and grand, for the impending clash that will decide its fate. The Janissaries surge into Topkapi Palace courtyard, their onslaught overwhelming Osman's loyal defenders. Chaos erupts as Osman and his men clash fiercely, a desperate defense of the throne against the tide of betrayal. The courtyard becomes a vortex of clashing steel and desperate cries, the fate of the empire hanging in the balance. Osman is seized by Janissaries, his royal robes reflecting the last of his grandeur. Dragged through the palace halls, Osman's eyes reflect disbelief and rising fear. Stripped of his power, Osman's humiliation deepens as the Janissaries mock his downfall. In the cold stone cell of Yedikule Fortress, Osman sits alone, illuminated by the moon's stark light. He dips a quill into ink, his brow furrowed with regret and exhaustion as he prepares to write. My ambition, it has brought ruin to us all, Osman reflects, his voice echoing in the empty chamber. The throne, once a beacon, now casts a shadow, he writes, his words heavy with sorrow and resignation. Grand Vizier Davud Pasha arrives in Osman's prison cell, his presence casting a dark shadow. Janissaries follow, their expressions foreboding. The air grows heavy with unspoken dread as they approach Osman. A solemn procession winds through the ancient streets of Constantinople, each step echoing the weight of a sultan's passing. Grief shrouds the city, a palpable sorrow that clings to every corner, every stone. Beneath the veil of mourning, the seeds of change begin to sprout, unseen yet inevitable.